to serve northeastern and central Pennsylvania. This is WNEP TV 16, the news station. Now, Nolan Johannes, Karen Harch, Jack Ruland in Skycam 16, meteorologist Tom Clark with his backyard forecast, and Tim Carlson Sports. This is Newswatch 16.
Good evening. Our exclusive Action 16 test results on bottled water have sparked a lot of concern this week.
Concern among people who drink the water, and tonight those who bottle it. Jerry Gartenberg is here now with part 3 of his special series, Water Better by the Bottle. Jerry, how are the companies reacting?
Well, Karen, some of the bottled water companies are running more tests of their own, to see how their results compare with ours. Now, in case you missed it, Action 16 had all these bottled water brands tested at 2 government-certified labs. The first 2 on the list, Glen Summit and Twin Springs, had no detectable contamination. In the other 7 brands, some chemicals turned up. Low levels of suspected cancer-causing chemicals were found in the last 5, Harch Rock, Crystal Clear, Great Bear Spring Water, Spring House, and Lehigh Valley. The highest level of contamination turned up in a sample of Lehigh Valley water, 4.5 parts per billion of the industrial chemical trichloroethylene, or TCE. An attorney representing Lehigh Valley says recent tests done for the company at 2 respected labs found TCE levels in Lehigh Valley were at or below 1 part per billion, and definitely not a health risk. The Department of Environmental Resources says it's doing its own tests of the water because Action 16's tests showed some samples were contaminated above acceptable state limits. The company believes DER's tests will show its water is perfectly safe. This government-certified lab in Williamsport tested crystal clear water today and says it's just that. Tests we ran showed trace levels of methylene chloride in a sample of crystal clear. The company's general manager thinks he knows why.
I feel from all the investigation that I have done that I feel that it was self-contamination in the laboratory where they were performed.
That's how the chemical got into the water.
We believe that, yes.
Another certified lab says Harch Rock, also bottled under the label Endless Mountain, is free of contamination. The company that makes Harch Rock says our lab's report of trace chemicals in the water is irresponsible. Deer Park doesn't dispute the low-level contamination we found in a sample of its water, but certified tests done on Deer Park water ordered by the company in April found no detectable contamination. Great Bear thanked us for testing its water, even though our tests found tiny amounts of chloroform and dichlorobenzene in one sample. The company president says the levels we found are much too low to cause any health concern, but he says he'll ask his lab to keep an eye out for the chemicals we found. Certified tests done for Great Bear found its water free of any contamination. Now, the people who make Diamond Spring and Spring House water are running tests, too, to check on the chemicals we found in their bottled water, and, of course, we'll keep you posted on what they find. Now, as to the 2 bottled water brands that turned up clean in our tests, representatives of Glen Summit and Twin Springs water say they're pleased, of course, but a little surprised, too, that chemicals were found in the other bottled water brands that we had tested. One other point, the labs that ran our tests agree that sample results can vary, so what was in our samples may not be the same as what's in your bottle. Tomorrow, in part 4 of Water Better by the Bottle, we'll tell you just how bottled water gets to be bottled water. Karen? Oh.
Okay,
Thanks,
Jerry. Thank you.
Another big forest fire is burning right now in our area. Skycam 16 is over the fire right now. These are live pictures from Hunlock Township. We're told the forest fire is on a mountain in the Shikshini-Coonsville area. That's near the former Retreat State Hospital and the Susquehanna River. Fire departments from Shikshini, Hunlock Creek, and the Berwick area are on the scene right now trying to get that forest fire under control. But from Skycam 16's view, the fire appears to be spreading. The Luzerne County Forest Fire does not appear to be threatening any homes. Work crews are on the scene right now of a train derailment in lower Luzerne County. From Skycam 16, you can see that 16 tanker cars jumped the tracks in Cunningham Township. That's about a mile south of Mackinac. It's a D&H train. There you get a good view of it from Skycam 16. State police aren't sure what is inside those tanker cars, but they say there are no leaks or any other problems. Members of a religious group at Williamsport High could be saying hallelujah tonight. That's because the Williamsport Area School Board has changed its mind and will allow the group Petros to meet on school property. It's an issue that was fought all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court. In the end, the court ruling stood, allowing the group to meet during school activity periods. However, the board last month still refused to allow Petros to meet, but last night changed its mind. Board President Richard Eberhardt says legally the school board cannot ban the meetings, although most members aren't happy about it.
Into the schools, public officials sanctioning a particular religious group, and that I fear.
Petros is expected to hold its next prayer meeting at Williamsport High tomorrow morning. When Newswatch 16 continues, we'll show you one of the first of its kind in Pennsylvania.
It's the latest way to fill her up and check on how the old car is running. That's next.
Ford knows what America wants and is doing something about it. Ford is holding the line on new car prices, on the cars with advanced design. Now, Ford has low annual percentage rate financing on most new cars, making the Ford value even more attractive. Plus, new 86 Ford cars come with a 3-year unlimited mileage powertrain warranty, a combination unmatched by any other American manufacturer.
See your Quality Plus Ford dealer for details now.
I gotta talk fast. Mama's out having her hair dyed blue. So I snuck out and picked up a Calitza Italian turnover. She finds out. Ooh, they take fresh dough and stuff it full of Italian sausage and green peppers or 5 delicious cheeses. Then they fold it to seal in the flavor and bake. Genius.
Calitza, to eat in or take out. Ready in 5 minutes. Guaranteed.
Sono casa! Hey, we may fight about Calitza, but we're closer than ever.
Così credito!
At least I think we are.
Are computers replacing gas station attendants? Maybe so. The first automated gas stations in our state are open right now, one in Williamsport, another in Luzerne County, and more will be opening soon in our area. Newswatch 16's Valerie Devine went to Cunningham today to see how the high-tech gas station works.
Every day, Norm Britton pulls up to the Gulf station on Route 93 in Cunningham and fills up his tank. He admits pumping gas is a lot easier these days. All he has to do is pop in a computerized credit card, punch in a special code, and the computer terminal automatically turns on the gas pump.
Well, it works pretty good. You can come in here anytime at night and use the computer. You don't have to wait, have anybody here to wait on you. Just pull in, punch the card in, and go about your business.
Once the customer's filled the tank, the bill is printed on a receipt and printed on a computer disk inside the gas station. Then at the end of the month, the customer gets a copy of the bills and a copy of a maintenance record the computer automatically compiles for its customers. Now, with all the extra services the computer system offers, you might think that you'd have to pay more to fill up here. But that isn't the case. In fact, gas prices here are the same as they are at other stations just down the street. Bob Leitzel is the president of Region Oil Company in Bloomsburg, the company behind the computer terminals. He says customers don't have to pay extra money because the gas station's business has already jumped 15%.
Number one, that we're open 24 hours. It's accessible 24 hours a day. Secondly, we do not have to pay attendance, and therefore the amount we would pay for payroll is able to be applied against the electronic equipment.
Leitzel says more and more of these computerized gas pumps will continue to crop up, and by late June, you should be able to use your own credit card. Valerie Devine, Newswatch 16, Cunningham.
Good news tonight, $15,000 worth of good news for some students at Williamsport Area Community College. It comes from a local firm that believes by helping students, it helps itself. WAC has been encouraging businesses to contribute to a special tuition fund to help put students through special courses. The first big company to get involved, Litton Devices, announced today that it'll give $5,000 a year over the next 3 years so that 6 students a year can enroll in the college's electronic technology program. Litton officials say they hope this donation will improve their ties with the college and the Williamsport community.
3 fun-loving guys in the media joined forces today to raise money for the American Cancer Society. WNEP's own Chad Booth of PM Magazine, along with Dan Coase of the Times Leader and Harry West of Warm Radio, took to the Wilkes-Barre Municipal Golf Course today. Each is heading a team that took pledges to benefit the American Cancer Society. $1,000 was pledged before this afternoon's event began. It's called the West Coast 16-Plus Golf Tourney. Chad sure needed the help of WNEP's Warren Reed, Kathy Campagnon, and Adam Sawicki. At last word, they're still on the course, and this whole thing started at 1 this afternoon. But of course, the real winner, the cancer patients who will be helped by the golf tourney.
And all those golfers are saying thanks to our chief meteorologist, Tom Clark.
Yeah, what a day for golf or anything.
A little windy. May have helped the hook a little bit. You know? But no more threat of thunderstorms the rest of this day. Matter of fact, we have some cooling changes coming in the weather. We'll look ahead through the weekend when we come back. But now you're watching Newswatch 16 on WNEP, and we're proud to serve Wadesville and all of Schuylkill County.
If you don't have a Cash Stream card, run and get one and play Cash Stream's Finest Hour sweepstakes. Win from $5,000 to $1,000 instantly.
Going, gone. That's what's happening at Early's to our specially purchased selection of Oldsmobiles and Cadillacs with free price increase stickers. Save as much as $1,000 over newly increased prices and get the model, equipment, and color you want this week only at Early's. But hurry, these cars are going fast, and the interest rates on some models have been reduced to an incredible 5.9%. So don't wait. Come to Kingston next to the Armory.
The world of Early is the world for you. World of Early.
Well, I was excused from watering the garden this morning because of a little bit of rain that fell last night, so let's find out if that'll happen again tomorrow, Tom.
But it wasn't much, was it?
Not too much.
No, I don't think it's going to rain tomorrow. You may want to keep that in mind, though, watering the garden the next few days. It's kind of dry now, and it's going to stay that way, I think, for the rest of this week, with just the outside chance of a passing shower. A nice, comfortable breeze blowing in the backyard tonight, a blue sky overhead. But before we get to the weather, I'd like to brag a little bit first, if I may. There's a brand new piece of equipment that Paul, Noreen, and I are now using in the Weather Center, and it's made a big difference and a big improvement in the way we collect weather information. Inside the WNEP Weather Center, there are many kinds of maps on display that our meteorologists use to analyze and predict the weather. Each map is prepared using the very latest computer forecasting technology. But we've made a change. Instead of using a telephone line to get these maps, we are now using a digital satellite transmission, which can bring all this information into our Weather Center faster than ever before. The process begins at the National Meteorological Center near Washington, D.C. From there, a signal is beamed up to a communications satellite 22,000 miles above the Earth. A dish antenna on the roof of our building then picks up the signal. After being processed, the signal is then fed down to the Weather Center and into this high-speed printer, which uses the information to print the maps that we need 24 hours a day. This is state-of-the-art equipment, and not all TV stations have it, but we do, and it'll help our meteorologists to keep you better informed about the weather and to bring you a more accurate forecast. And, of course, our network of 400 weather watchers help us to keep you better informed. And Carl Schreffler is one of them. He lives out there in Bellefonte. He'd like to know it's 82 degrees at his place now. He reported a heavy thunderstorm at about 3 o'clock this morning. And also in Danville, it's in Montour County, Tim Leiby reports 84 degrees, and Matthew Bortree in Greeley, Pike County, checks in with 85 in the sun. In the shade, the temperature now in our backyard is most delightful. Partly cloudy overhead, 79 degrees. Humidity 27%, very low. The wind now has shifted to the northwest, coming in at 16 miles per hour, and the barometer is at 29.73. It's holding steady. High temperature here today, topped off at 84 degrees. 58 the low this morning, and just a 0.02 of an inch of rain fell here. 90 the record high, and 63 the high a year ago today. And there's a live shot out the side window of Skycam 16 this evening, showing all the sunshine over Wilkes-Barre. A beautiful evening to get outside and do some jogging or whatever. Satellite view just in. Now we have thunderstorms now off the coast of New England, and so there's no more chance of rain here overnight tonight. A few more thunderstorms down to the south. The Hanover High School band is heading down to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina the next few days, and there they will not get rained upon, and it's going to stay dry, and expect warm days and cool nights down that way. Also, some 6th graders from the Hanover area heading to New York City tomorrow, and there they'll have temperatures close to 70 in the afternoon without rain. For the next couple of days, this will be the airflow over Pennsylvania down from the north, around the backside of a storm developing out there, so that will keep us cool, but this band of cloudiness may work its way down, and again, nothing more than a shower over the next 48 hours. Temperatures across the country tomorrow, warm down south near 80. We'll be close to 70 here, and only in the 40s out in the Rockies where there's a snowstorm taking place this evening. For us, though, a starry night tonight and cooling off quite nicely down to about 49 by morning in Factoryville, 48 in Whitehaven, 51 the low in Selinsgrove tomorrow morning, and in Cogan Station, 48. And the breeze overnight will be from the northwest. Here's the sunrise time for tomorrow, 5:53. 8:08 is sunset tomorrow. Overnight, it'll stay mostly clear, low about 50. 67 tomorrow, partly cloudy. Risk of a shower late tomorrow and tomorrow night. But that's about it. Partly cloudy on Friday, 63. The weekend looks delightful. And temperatures will be most comfortable each afternoon.
All right, Tom.
Okay.
Good advice.
Thank you.
Tim Carlson is next with the Sports Watch. Tonight, word from Philadelphia about a longtime Philly deciding to call it quits.
Plus, a unique car that teaches prospective race car drivers how to cope with skids and slides.
2 for 1, 2 for 1. 2 sets of prints for 1 low price.
Let Ray and Derrick drugstores process your film. You'll get a set to keep and a set to share. Then pick the photo you like best and get a big 5x7 color print free. Bring the negative and bag receipt to Ray and Derrick, and the 5x7 enlargement is free from Ray and Derrick drugstores.
Your 2 for 1 photo store.
10 years ago, it rained. 10 years ago, there were signs like these and roads like this. Yet 10 years ago, only one car maker was committed to handling these conditions. Subaru, with on-demand four-wheel drive, a feature we offer on every model. Now, other car makers are discovering four-wheel drive. Did they finally notice the weather or us?
Ask about Subaru RPM leasing, all the advantages of ownership with the flexibility of leasing.
Tim has us in suspense. Who is it?
Right. I'll tell you right now. I won't make you wait any longer. You know, one of the toughest things for any professional athlete to do is know when to call it quits. Too many hang on too long and end up leaving their fans with bad memories of poor old-age performances. Well, apparently, longtime Phillies outfielder Gary Maddox has decided not to struggle with injuries and the lack of playing time any longer. He's retiring from baseball after 14 years and a fine career. And John Evans is at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, where Maddox announced his retirement just a few minutes ago. And John, why did Gary Maddox retire?
Well, Timmy, you know, he had some problems with his back. 2 years ago, he did have back surgery, and he said today to reporters that he was starting to feel the same symptoms, and unlike a boxer who might stay in for that last one fight that would end his career and end it on a sour note, he decided to leave today. You know, one of the most memorable moments of Gary Maddox's career was in 1983 when he hit the home run off Scott McGregor against Baltimore, of all people, Tim, in the World Series, which won the only game the Phillies won that year. What else can you say about Gary Maddox? He wins 8 gold gloves here with the Phillies. That's the third best of anybody in National League history. Only Roberto Clemente and Willie Mays won more. 11 years with the Phillies, 14 years total in the majors, career batting average of .283, career fielding percentage of .983. Just a great man, a great person. He said goodbye to the Phillies today, and most of all, he said goodbye to the Philadelphia people, the ones who had treated him so well in his stay here since 1975. Tim, I talked to Gary Maddox this afternoon, and we will have more with Gary tonight at 11 o'clock. John Evans, Sports Watch 16, live from Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia.
All right, John, thanks a lot, and we'll be looking for that up-close talk with Gary Maddox tonight. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
It's no secret that race car drivers are the best drivers in the world. They have to be, considering the speeds they reach while driving. It's also no secret that many safety techniques used in everyday driving were developed by the folks who design and drive race cars. Well, that's exactly the story about the newly developed slide car. And Jay Christopher went to Pocono International Raceway recently to see this new teaching vehicle.
It's called the slide car. It was created by veteran race car driver Bertil Roos of Sweden. Roos has 3 of the slide cars housed at Pocono International Raceway at Long Pond, where he operates the Bertil Roos School of Motor Racing. Snowy, wet road conditions are ideal for the slide car performance, but even on dry roadways, the racing innovation can simulate the same condition. Specially designed rear axles are the key.
The slide is created in this course because the driver is turning, creating excessive centrifugal force. And when that centrifugal force becomes excessive in the corner, the rear end slides away. And in this case, what the driver has to do, the most important is to learn to remain with your eyes where you want to go.
Where you want to go is heavily stressed at the driving school. Chief Instructor Chris Janone explains the ocular driving tactic.
It's basically look where you want to go.
You can never make a car go in the intended direction of travel if you don't look there. Most people look right in front of the hood of the car and where the car is pointing, and that's really not what we want to do. We want to look where we want to go at all times, and it's the basic foundation to race driving and street driving alike.
Though the slide car is part of a racing curriculum at Pocono, at least half the students who attend the driving school are non-racers. They come from different walks of life: executives, salespeople, and even chauffeurs. Ruse says it's part of his plan to teach America to drive better. I'm Jay Christopher at Sports Watch 16.
A great show coming up tonight in just about a half hour at the University of Scranton John Long Center. Crazy George Schauer, the basketball wizard, and Clarence the Clown will be there for the benefit of the Scranton State School for the Deaf PTA. These guys are fun to watch, and I'll be there to MC the show. If you can get there, it's at 7 o'clock, John Long Center, University of Scranton. We're going to have a good time.
You're going to have fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll see you later.
Thanks, Tim. Coming up, a good idea that has blossomed on the streets of Wilkes-Barre.
We'll tell you about the Kids Care program next as Newswatch 16 continues.
I'm Jim Rising, and tomorrow morning at 7:20, I'll give away this fabulous home entertainment center from Stroud's at 98.5 KRZ-FM in the world's easiest contest. You could win this Sony Color TV, the Panasonic VHS VCR, the Technics compact disc player, the Sanyo rack stereo system, the Minolta 35mm camera, and much more. If you have a name and you can tune to 98.5 KRZ-FM, you can win in the world's easiest contest. Listen tomorrow morning at 7:20 to 98.5 KRZ-FM.
Living in and around the Pocono Mountains has a lot of advantages. Foremost is the Village Squire Restaurant of Blakesley, located on Route 115 just south of Blakesley Corners. Come and experience true mountain hospitality with elegant dining in the main dining room. You know, Mother's Day is just around the corner, and the Village Squire offers an excellent Mother's Day special. Full dinners start at $8.95 with free gifts and desserts for every mom. The Village Squire Restaurant is truly an oasis waiting to serve you. Come and try us soon.
Finally tonight, proof that kids do care about their community. Kids Care is a new program to spruce up a number of towns in our area this summer. Newswatch 16's Mark Davis, says that they did it tonight, their thing in Wilkes-Barre.
Students from the Future Farmers of America at Wilkes-Barre Votech School have been looking forward to this day for a while. A chance to make a statement in their community and have fun at the same time. 9 members of the class spent the afternoon planting new geraniums, marigolds, and begonias in downtown Wilkes-Barre. Tracy Capina says the class started working on this a while ago.
We started everything at school from just seedlings, and we took all our better stuff. All our stuff at school is grown pretty nice, and we just had it brought down here and just potted right here.
Terrell Walker is a student who asked the Kids Care program to coordinate this project. Now the teenagers get the satisfaction.
We can always say, well, hey, we know we did that. We came down here, you know, we took care of all this and spend all the time doing it. So we have a lot of satisfaction over the summer.
The Kids Care program is administered by the Girl Scouts, thanks to American Express and local businesses which came up with the cash and expertise. The adults set up the projects, the kids come up with the ideas.
And eliminate the roadblocks and make it possible for the kids to fulfill their dream of what they believe a better community is.
These farming students from the Votech School also have a role in future Kids Care projects. They are already growing flowers and other plants that will be used in other beautification projects set for the rest of this summer. Mark Davis, Newswatch 16, downtown Wilkes-Barre.
Nice work. And that is Newswatch 16 for Wednesday.
Be sure to join us tonight on The Update when we'll introduce you to the real seniors on campus.
World News Tonight is next. For the team, thanks for joining us.
Enjoy your evening.